Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of the HLL Summer Invitational. My name is Abinus. I will be casting today's match between LL, Lost Legion, and NPA/BHB, which is Never Play Alone, and Bale Hay Boys. This is the 8th and 9th seed facing off here in this round of 16. Yesterday, we had 3 wildcard games leading into today's big day of 6 matches. And this is one of them that we're going to be bringing to you live. We are back on Flak Pits, just as we were yesterday. Just happened to be the random draw for this game. I swear there are more maps other than Flak Pits. We got it a bunch this week. And we're going to be getting started in just a few minutes. So a couple of things I want to go over before we get started for those of you that haven't watched this before. So this is a 18 versus 18 match on one small part of Hill 400 map. In this case, it is Flak Pits. The play area is E3, F3, E4, and F4. And we are going to see 2 teams duke it out over the course of 30 minutes, with the winner being the team that holds the strong point at the end of time, or holds the sector, I should say. So if it is tied at the end of the match, at the end of 30 minutes, it will go into overtime. So I'm really excited to bring you this match today. The winner of this game will advance, or I should say, this is a best of 3 for clarity. So this is just match 1 of up to 3 matches between these 2 teams today. And the winner of the game wins 2 of the 3 matches. The winner of this game will move on into the quarterfinals next weekend. The loser of this game will drop into the loser bracket. This is a double elimination tournament. So this is just the opening round, really. So even the loser of this game is not out of the tournament. They just drop to the loser bracket, and they have to fight their way through that. So really a lot to look forward to. You'll see that I am currently in admin cam on the Allies side, which means you're going to see allied pings and allied markers on the map. I will be showing, I have markers available for both teams. So when I'm just looking around in admin cam, I can see the little dots over here. And it looks like, yes, we have just gotten started. So really a lot going on this map. Before everyone runs in, let me just talk. Flak Pits is really defined by the hill that you see to the southeast of the point, this one right here. This is really the major part of the map, and it's where everyone's going to kind of fight on a very consistent basis. You have a strong point that's rather exposed with a trench line, and then you have a wide open northern section of the map that's on a downhill slope. So there's a lot of room to maneuver for flanks on both sides. If the south side starts going in a certain direction, teams can start utilizing the north side. And already you will see that we have our friends in Lost Legion on the German side running in, and we have NPA and BHB playing as the allies running in over here. So NPA, BHB are in blue, LL is in orange. So it looks like NPA and BHB is going for a very concentrated approach to the strong point. They're going to send, looks like their entire team pretty much directly into it. Whereas LL is going for a much more spread out approach. They're sending a squad to the top of the hill, a squad to the strong point, and then a squad to the north side. So this is going to be basically a thin wall versus a very long, a thin wall versus a very concentrated push by NPA and BHB right up the middle. And you can see this already, NPA and BHB going for it. There is smoke everywhere. Grenades exploding, MGs firing. Really seeing quite a concentrated push here. LL doing a nice job so far. Everyone is in pretty good position to knock this out. A couple guys from LL have gone down. Starting to see grenades really start to fly here. There's smoke everywhere. So LL's got a squad on top of the hill that's doing what they can to suppress down. But it looks like NPA and BHB are in very strong position on the strong point itself. They have a lot of bodies there. LL has got this squad on the north side, really in like a defensive posture around the halfway mark, and there is no one from NPA or BHB anywhere near them. So I think they're going to wait a minute or two to see if there's any contact on this side that's flanking, and if there's not, I would guess that they will collapse into the strong point just like anybody else would. But NPA so far holding on to the strong point quite well. They do have capture progress moving in their direction, but that's really all they've got. They've gone for the all-in strategy on the strong point to get the initial capture, whereas LL has got much better map control. So NPA really kind of leaning on capturing the zone quickly, where LL is definitely looking at more of a long game, trying to play north to south and just control as much of the map as they can. But LL will probably feel some pressure here as NPA starts to get more capture progress. Have to imagine that they're going to start coming down this hill and trying to contest NPA and BHB inside of the point. And you are starting to see now this squad from LL is moving into the circle area. And really just a lot of MG fire going on the point here. Really nice back and forth. MGs for both sides doing a lot of damage. But NPA has got control of the backside of the circle, and they are going to keep getting capture progress. We are starting to see some players from NPA working on a flank here. They're running into this LL squad on the north side. So we'll keep an eye on that. We have fairly strong control of the hill from LL at this point. Lost Legion, they're looking pretty good. But I think LL sees, as the strong point goes more and more in favor of NPA, I wonder if they're going to keep position or if they're going to try and pivot. So we shall see. LL is probably going to try and utilize the fact that they've got this entire north side free to start flanking. Remember, since this is an 18 versus 18, all it takes is one more person in the circle than your opponent to start capture progress, so long as all 18 are in the zone. So right now, NPA has concentrated their entire team on the backside of the circle with one squad playing up on the hill. And for LL, it's really thin. I mean, there's really two guys holding it. We are going to see NPA is going to capture the zone here, so NPA gets first capture. That means that LL is going to have to reset all of their outposts. But the all-in strategy on the strong point works for NPA and BHB. They get the capture. They are starting to spread out a little bit, but I still think LL has got a little bit better map control. And we're going to have to see, like, can LL dislodge this group of NPA players that are sitting right here on the backside of this cliff? They're doing a really nice job of controlling this and making it really hard for LL's players to get where they want to go. We're seeing a little bit of a brawl here, a little bit of a duel. Oh, the rocket comes out, but it doesn't get him. Maybe he thinks he got him. Just Guy is coming up on him. And Just Guy gets him. Really nice individual effort from Just Guy there. And a grenade wipes out some of NPA. Just Guy gets another. Okay, so LL really does a nice job of breaking up the chokehold that NPA has on the strong point. 5 guys from NPA going down in a matter of 10 seconds right there. And NPA now, a little bit on the back foot. LL starting to really get better control of the zone. That squad that was sitting on the north side of the strong point is now pivoted into the capture zone itself. You're seeing a little bit more aggression from LL up on this hill. NPA has been trying to fight for it this whole time, but LL's been holding on to it. And now you're starting to see capture progress go in the opposite direction. Now Lost Legion is starting to recapture the zone, and we're still seeing, the primary concentration of NPA and BHB is, basically south and central. They've got just one player, an MG, sitting in even the top half of the map. So Lost Legion has a lot of opportunities to flank if they choose to, and I'll be curious to see if these players that are holding a defensive line will make decisions about going in. But LL holding their own on the top of this hill, really doing a nice job, like really playing well. Good eyes, good visual range from there. And they've really, they've piled in to the backside of this point quite nicely. We're seeing some players from NPA trying to stay in the circle, trying to, reverse the capture progress. But so far, LL doing a very nice job. They lose the point off rip, but they are putting themselves in position to recapture. So we'll see how this plays out. LL really doing a nice job still holding these two players in a defensive line. So really nice discipline for Bazio and Good, just making sure no one is coming around that flank. And otherwise, LL is holding their own at a slight numbers disadvantage, basically 16 versus 18 in and around the point. So OP placement for LL looks pretty good. OP placement for NPA is a little bit tighter to the point, and it looks like one of the OPs for NPA went down. Baker, I think, is waiting to redeploy his. That's Dyslexic squad. But we are seeing, and LL reverses the capture, and now LL has taken the zone back. So in just the first 12 minutes of the match, we've already seen the strong point. The first 10 minutes of the match, we've already seen the strong point change twice. So really back and forth already. This is shaping up to be a very entertaining match. I'm going to give advantage LL at the moment. A little bit better map control, a little bit better positioning in and around this cliffside. NPA has really tried to just stack the center, leading from the trench into the circle itself. And there's just been great fighting going on in this trench pretty much all game. Both teams really just, this is kind of like a death trench right here, this run. And both teams have just been doing what they can to defend it. Although I will say LL has got a little bit of ground in the last couple of minutes. And I'll be curious to see if BHB and NPA start thinking about maybe a secondary attack route. They haven't really gotten anywhere on this cliff. They've pretty much just been stalled out on the cliff so far. NPA is doing a pretty good job in the middle, but they haven't really explored this north side of the map yet. And I'll be curious to see if they're going to try it. Still plenty of time to go. This match started at 1:10 in game. We're not even 10 minutes into the match, so 20 minutes still to go. I'm going to let you guys enjoy some sights and sounds for a minute or two, and I'll be back with a little bit more of shoutcasting as soon as I take some bites of my food. I'll be right back. So in the brief period that I was stepping away, we've seen BHB and NPA have really got another concentrated push coming through this trench line with a lot of smoke. As we talked about yesterday, smoke kind of works in two directions in Let Loose. Yes, it is going to provide you cover. It's obviously hard for someone to see you in the smoke, but it also notifies the opposing team like, hey, that's where I am. I am in the smoke. And Franklin coming in and cleaning up two players. Just walking across. And now we're going to see if he can grab another guy right here. He gets a third. So one player from LL, a squad leader, Franklin, comes in and cleans out three players that were sitting inside the strong point. And that really strong push from NPA gets kind of dismantled. And LL now really, oh boy, Franklin now moving really close to the Baker and Dog OPs, and he gets it. Baker OP goes down. The squad leader for NPA also goes down, but Dyslexic stays alive. If Franklin kills Dyslexic there, that is a whole new game. Dyslexic would have to run in from the garrison. He would no longer have his help. Oh, and he does go down. An MG. Oh, an MG manages to find Dyslexic in the back before he can reset his OP. So Baker's squad from NPA now is going to have to come back into the zone from their garrison, which means that for the next few minutes, NPA is going to have a really nice advantage. We're still seeing really nice discipline from these two players, Bazio and Good, who I don't know if they've even shot their weapons this entire game, but they're just holding this flank. They've been assigned a job, and they are doing it. And LL is just kind of holding on here, down a few players in the strong point. Really looks good for LL at the moment. That that outpost going down for BHB and NPA is really going to kind of set them back a bit here. And you know, we really haven't seen an NPA or BHB try to flank. We are starting to see a little bit of a small element go on the downslope here. I'd be curious to know if it's been spotted by NPA, by LL. But I really would like to see NPA and BHB maybe try to move on this north side a little bit more, probably thinking, right, that there's no one from LL sitting over here. But in reality, there's been 3 players from the LL that have just been sitting here this whole time. So we'll be curious to see. I believe this is probably Dyslexic. Yep, so Dyslexic now from BHB trying to move around and maybe get a bit of an angle. But LL in a really commanding position at this moment. As I say that, we are starting to see a little bit of capture progress come in from the NPA side, even though they're nowhere near that circle. Although I should rephrase, there are a few players close. We have an MG. Keebs has started to move around and maybe has found a bit of a hole here. We'll see if Keebs can... We might have a bit of a duel between Snow White and Keebs here in a second. Let's see if they see each other. Oh, Keebs might have seen him. Keebs doing a nice job of just sneaking in for his team, trying to get around. We saw that in yesterday's game. A couple of big plays of players just kind of sneaking through, finding a way into the back line and changing the fortunes for their team. Right now, NPA and BHB have pretty much lost the center. They're trying to get it back. Dyslexic, it looks like, is trying to get a new angle from the north side with his squad. This squad from LL has done a great job of holding this roof, holding this hilltop this whole time. It really, really looks good. So it's going to be curious to see. I think it's going to come down to, can players slip through? Like Keebs tries to slip through. He gets Snow White, but Ben from LL cleans it up and saves kind of the rear outposts for his team. Now, as I say that, we are seeing capture progress still coming in from the NPA side because it looks like there's nobody from either team inside of the circle, meaning that as long as NPA and BHB have more players inside of the circle itself, or inside of the zone itself, there will be capture progress. Now you're seeing a couple players from LL are starting to enter the circle, and now you're seeing that capture progress is going in the opposite direction. So Flak Pits is a really unique strong point for that sense. It's really spread out. There's a lot of cover in a lot of different areas. And we are seeing that it looks like a few players from NPA are starting to get around. Okay, this AR finds the AT class, Joe. He goes down, but an assault player, 2 assault players, and a couple of their squad mates are now starting to punch through to the back line of LL, and all of a sudden, NPA actually looking like they're in a very commanding position. Obviously, LL still controlling this hilltop, looks really strong. They have not left it. I think it's going to be really tough for NPA to dislodge them from that hilltop. But what they can do is they can start moving around this north side and making things happen. And now you have 3 players from NPA who are starting to get around to the backside of the zone. And if they're able to neutralize the outpost that LL has got back here, it's a whole new game, and NPA can actually set up control. And we're seeing contact. Just Guy goes down. So LL is feeling some pressure here on the backside. They're going to be notifying their team of that. You still have just 1 MG from LL kind of holding this wide flank on the north side. But you're starting to see NPA and BHB really just leaving a token force up on the hill, and now they're really pivoting to the north side of the map, looking for the bigger flank play, which I think at this point is the right idea. We are 13 minutes to go in this match, and NPA now is starting to get in good position on the circle. Franklin, who I got to say has been MVP of this game thus far, at least from what I've seen, doing a really great job of cleaning up in and around the point. He's basically single-handedly kept this point under LL control for the last 5-6 minutes, so props to him. But you are starting to see elements of NPA moving up this hill. You have an assault class player all the way in the back here. Cedars from NPA is looking for the outpost, and we're going to see if he finds it. They're right on top of each other. Do they hear each other? Yes, Cedars grabs Dark and Knight. He goes down, but now he's got a couple of people shooting at him. Bazio and Dibs are looking for Cedars on the back, very back line. We'll keep track of this. We'll see if Cedars is able to get through. But look at the concentration of NPA now coming in on the strong point. You're seeing a huge push from NPA on the north side. And that's where it's going to come down to, can there be enough pressure on this hill right here in front of me where LL is forced to fight people on the hill instead of looking down into the strong point? And if BHB can just keep the attention of those guys on the hill towards this squad and not on this attack coming in from the north side, I think NPA can secure the strong point. Cedars has survived. I think maybe LL thought that they neutralized the threat, But he is still up. He's firing. Now they know he's alive. We'll see. We'll track that in real time. But now we've seen half of the zone captured by NPA. So NPA and BHB doing a great job. And I can't believe it. It looks like LL has lost control of this hill. There is nobody. Just a spawn comes in now. Sin coming up on the outpost. Can he get it? He's right there. He's still up. He goes down, and the OP is alive. Oh, my goodness. He comes within just a couple of feet from neutralizing the LL outpost on the hill. If that happens, that is a whole new game right there. So props to LL for holding on for dear life on that hill. All of them spawn in. They prevent the OP loss. That would have completely changed the game. Really, really close. We are starting to see BHB and NPA players start to get into the circle itself. Really close range fighting going on here. Really, really close. You hear some of the local chat going on here as I'm in admin cam. Franklin, again, just patrolling these trenches. He's the trench patrol. Just keeping them clear for his team. Man, what a match this has been. We are coming up on the 10-minute mark in just a minute. This has been a really entertaining game, and we have what I have been waiting to see, and it would have been more effective if it was a squad leader, but Cedars from NPA has come around all the way to the back, and there is an LL OP right here. He hits Janice. He's going to go for it, and he's going to get it. Cedars neutralizes an LL OP all the way in the back, and now LL is in a bit of trouble. They've got an OP up on the hill. They've lost the OP that they've been using to spawn in. Their squad leader is still up, so he can reset it, but he's not in an ideal position to do so. And now, I mean, you've seen how much fighting has gone in on this trench. LL Franklin forced to put a really close range OP. He's got no choice. His safe one has gone down. It'll be really curious to see if Franklin goes down, this OP goes down, NPA and BHB in prime position to take this point. Really outstanding match thus far. Super close. And we've got just 10 minutes to go. Franklin really cleaning up in these trenches, doing a phenomenal job. Oh, and Dyslexic calls him out. He's in the trenches. He grabs him. Orion goes down. So, here we go. This is what we got to watch. Can BHB and NPA get to this outpost? It's right there. Mad Cow saves it. Oh, my goodness. MG fire coming in from all sides. If this OP for LL goes down, they are in big trouble. Let's see if the squad leader is able to spawn in. Joe goes down. I think the squad leader is going to spawn. Blind Nut is coming around, but I don't know if he sees it. Nope, Franklin is able to spawn. So LL's got a little bit of life here inside the strong point. I'm going to pivot now to the north side. We're starting to see smoke popping off on all sides here. LL has got firm control of the zone at this moment in terms of capture progress. But, I mean, NPA and BHB are right there. And, man, Sin from NPA got within mere feet of this outpost for LL. Really, really close. Could have gone either way. So that'll when we review this at the end, that'll be kind of the critical moment of the match, I think, if LL manages to hold on. We are starting to see the spread happening again. I think LL realized there was this push happening on the north side, and I think they're starting to set some players up in a kind of wide defensive line. They've got an MG, they've got a couple other players, so they're looking closely at that. NPA and BHB now working on 8.5 minutes to capture this zone, or at least get capture progress. This is a really even match. This is about as good of a game as you'll find in the 18v18 game mode, and it is my pleasure to bring it to you this afternoon. The OP from LL does go down inside of the circle. So Franklin now is going to have to come all the way from the back. And we have capture progress coming in yet again. NPA and BHB starting to work to capture the zone. Darkened Night, Fungus Eater, Dibs trying to get there for LL. But right now, just Patient Zero for LL is the only thing really standing between NPA and this zone. And we'll see if... I mean, Franklin's got to now run back in. NPA maybe not able to take full advantage of the fact that they neutralized that outpost. I wonder if it was communicated well. But man, this is really, really close. There's just been a knife fight going on this hill all game between these two squads. Neither squad giving up any ground on this south hill. I mean, it has just been back and forth. Neither team has been able to dislodge each other. It's just a bunch of trading back and forth. But Sin knows where the outpost is. He knows. He gets a grenade out. He drops one. LL Sunny goes down to a grenade. If that's communicated and Sin runs in, he's bandaging. He knows it's right there. He saw it before. Is he going to wait for a spawn, or is he just going to try to run in to neutralize it? If NPA and BHB get this OP behind the log pile, Madcap now moving in. Just 2 players from LL come in. A gunfight. Sin, they all go down, but Madcap's going to run in. Is he going to get it? I think he is. Okay, NPA has neutralized all of LL on this south hill, and it comes at a clutch moment. LL has now lost control of the south hill. NPA has got inside the circle, and NPA is going to capture the zone with 6.5 minutes to go in this game. Wow. What a great realization from the NPA team there on the south hill, realizing that they had neutralized the OP. They communicated across to the team, and NPA now has flipped the zone back. So that is the 3rd flip of this game, and that could not have come at a better time for their team. This is truly a back-and-forth game. And now I think it's just going to come into like a massive brawl in and around the strong point in the final 5 minutes. A lot of OPs went down for LL there, obviously due to the flip. Squad leaders got wiped. LL now knows with 5 minutes on the clock, their only play is going to be to run straight into the strong point. I don't think there's enough time to reliably pull off a wide flank and come in. I think all LL can do is just come all the way towards the strong point as an entire team, just stack 18 the way that NPA and BHB did at the start of this match. And I think we're going to have a crazy fight here in the final 5 minutes. I'm going to leave the camera right here for 1 second. Watch this fight on the South Hill. I'm just going to grab some food really quick. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
OP Baker Mark. OP Baker Mark.
All right, we are back with 4.5 minutes to go. NPA running headlong towards the strong point. LL running headlong towards the strong point. NPA and BHB now setting up a phenomenal defensive line. We're starting to see, look at this beautiful line coming through the entirety of the map. NPA now trying to get that box out in the final 5 minutes, being very aggressive, leaving good defensive positions in the hopes of just preventing LL from getting anywhere near the zone. And so far, that is working for them. There are a lot more blue dots on this map right now than there are orange. So NPA trying to go for the kill shot here in the final few minutes. We're seeing rockets just spewing out from both teams. We are seeing a bit of a concentration of LL right here. We're seeing fire from all directions come in towards them. We'll see if they can break through. Just 3 minutes to go in this match. This is really, really close. And you are seeing something very, very smart. Dyslexic is now sitting on this strong point. He is just going to sit on it. And he's going to prevent anyone from LL getting capture progress for the duration of the match. And that is really, really good. We are seeing a little bit of a breakthrough. Franklin has been kind of the key player to watch for LL this whole game. He goes down. It looks like Infidel gets him. And now you have a squad from LL that's having to spawn all the way from the back garrisons. They lost their OP. We have just 3 minutes to go. LL now just has to go all in up the middle. They've got no other play. They need to pull everybody in, just go right for the strong point and hope they can get capture progress and force an overtime. Really, really interesting match. This match has kind of had a little bit of everything. We're seeing a small element from LL trying to make it through this ravine. Janice grabs Dyslexic. He goes down. A lot of players from NPA sitting on this road here, knowing that this is going to be the main entry point. Clock really starting to click now, tick down on the LL side, and we're seeing constantly players having to spawn in from garrisons, which is never good this deep into the match. I think NPA is in prime position to clean this up here in the final 2 minutes. As long as LL does not get a pretty heroic and dramatic breakthrough at the very end. We are seeing a small element from LL maybe get around these NPA. Okay, 2 players from LL find a way through the very top side. NPA not watching. I mean, this could be big with just a minute and change to go. Sunny and Emps are on a mission on the South Hill, and they're going to see if they can maybe get around here and try and sweep down and kill Charlie Outpost. That would certainly give LL a fighting shot. The squad leader for LL does drop a player. He's so close to the outpost. Sunny has just got to try to go for it. He's got no time. He just got to... Oh, and Madcap comes in with the clutch kill right there. And maybe saves the game a little bit for NPA there. As a few players from LL are starting to break through. If that OP goes down for NPA on the South Hill, that is a whole new game. We do have a rifleman that is... Wow, Dyslexic and Just Guy pretty much like right next to each other. They don't see each other. I mean, Just Guy just slips right past Dyslexic. I don't know how they did not run into one another. Just Guy now alone in this back trench looking for an outpost. There isn't one there, but he's probably thinking it is. We've got just 40 seconds to go. LL's trying to stack the strong point. We are seeing a bit of a contest. It flashes for a second. LL trying to get the heroic final minute save here. Let's see if they can get a contest and force overtime. NPA and BHB realizing that all they need to do now is just seal the game. And look, they're all just going to sit inside the circle. They're just going to try and just cap off the match at the very end. They're not going to go for the strong box out in this final few seconds. They're just going to sit a bunch of guys on the strong point and keep that capture weight. Props to LL Sunny. He does win the fight on this South Hill, but I think it's just a little too late. As the clock winds down, there is no capture progress. That is game. And NPA and BHB fight a phenomenal match and take match 1 of this best of 3 between these two teams. That is as close as it gets. Really great game for both teams. That could have gone in either direction. NPA and BHB just finding enough holes on the north side of the map to sweep down and capture the zone. So in this best of 3, NPA and BHB are now up 1-0. A phenomenal match, really fun to watch. We are now going to pivot to match 2 in a few minutes between EW and ARO. A-R-O. They have just concluded match 1. We're going to be bringing match 2 to you live in about 10 to 15 minutes. I ask you to don't go away. We will be back. I'm going to cut the stream for a little bit, but we will be back. So as soon as you see us go live, hop back in. We will bring you live action of a game between 2 other teams in just a few minutes. My name is Avanis. Pleasure bringing you this match between NPA and LL today. I'll see you in just a bit. Thanks.